All right, so context clues. Our I can use context clues to help with my comprehension. Everyone, let's say that because that is our target today. Let's say our I can. I can use context clues to help with my comprehension. Okay, so that's what we are focusing on today, are our context clues. Be a word detective, use context clues. Type of context clues. Thank you for those who are pointing as Ms. Hollowell is reading. Clues that our good readers use to find the meaning of unknown words. The first thing that they look at are pictures. Good. And then they look at, and I know you have it highlighted because that is so important, they look at helping words. Let's read those helping words. Or, like, are, called. Good. Those are helping words to help us to understand those context clues. And then we use words that we already know. We look for examples, and then synonyms and antonyms, same and opposite. Who is going to use these different types of clues today during your reading? I don't have full participation. Thank you so much, all right? And who can name the image that we have on these pages? What is this image called? What is this image called? Sayla?
This image.
Speak up.
This image is called a magnifying glass.
And why do we have a magnifying glass, Sayla, as we're talking about context clues? Thank you for those who are tracking Sayla.
So, kind of like the opposite, the synonyms to explain like have evidence.
Okay, so finding the evidence. We're using these magnifying glasses to really search for those words and finding the evidence. Thank you, Sayla. Okay, on your first one, synonym means the same. All right, go ahead, read this sentence to yourself that's on your magnifying glass. And think of that underlined word. Think of its meaning. Try to use your context clue.
Cross the inside of the car before cleaning out the inside.
I want you to truly think about that definition of exterior. And it says, Dad washed the exterior of the car before cleaning out the inside.
That'll be good to be the good answer.
Dad washed the outside of the car before cleaning out the inside.
It sounds way better.
That makes pretty much sense because it's opposite. And the opposite of inside is outside.
Back to back, front to front. And that's what I demonstrated with my scholars, and they were back to back as they got that think time and wait time, and then they were front to front when they started to discuss. So this was really good, just for them to use that accountable talk and talking with each other, but at the same time it was really good because I partnered them up. And so for a low scholar, I partnered them up with one of a high scholar, someone who would want to talk. And this helped because I said, the scholar with the blue shirt goes first, and usually it might be that scholar who I want to go first. And so the lower scholar was able to listen and then give accountable talk saying, well, I agree because, and they could simply repeat the exact same thing, but at least now everyone is being able to truly participate and engage in a conversation.
It means the outside because it said that Dad washed the exterior of the car before washing the inside. So I guess that means outside.
Good. And exterior, it means outside. Let's give them 2 snaps. Good job with your evidence using the antonym. If you say inside, you know exterior means outside, supporting the evidence. Okay, the last one we're going to focus on the explaining. Back to back, please. You bring my partner down, please. In my confession, I told Mom about everything I've done wrong. So right now you're just back to back and you're thinking about what does that word confession mean as you're reading it. Thank you, Brianna. You're reading it in your notebook. In my confession, I told Mom about everything I had done wrong. So thinking about how could you explain what that word using context clues, confession. So right now, just back to back thinking about it. All right, front to front, and you all can discuss who will lead the conversation. So you're going to be the leader.
I think it means like smelling.
Why do you say that?
Confession.
I concur because she said
I told my mom about everything I think she's saying that she's I piggyback on you, and I want to add on to that because it also means confession also means to tell something you did.
Over this first one, and I'll meet with some groups to go over your other one. But it's very simplistic. Right here, we have a big circle, and that's where you're going to put the word. So as you're reading, I need everyone sitting up. As you're reading, this is where you put the word, and you can put the page. But then the sentence says, what clues from the text help me figure out the word? So what clues helped you to understand the word? How Jonathan explained it more in a sentence of how he found out the meaning. And then right down here, you're going to use your definition. After you found the clues, then you're going to pick your definition of what the word means. So my challenge to you is to at least find 2 words. Now I know I'm going to have some detectives that are going to find more than 2 words, and they're going to be working hard the entire time. And I appreciate those detectives in advance who are really going to hunt for those context clues, but they're truly reading to understand the story, because we're going to use this story tomorrow talking about main ideal. But if we understand the words, it will help us with our comprehension. All right? So that's exactly. Any questions about this graphic organizer? I'll explain. All right, and you have your books. You know you're sitting elbow to elbow, knee to knee. We have been working on volume and expression when we're reading, so that is still my expectation. Today we're reading 3 different types of stories. One level was reading The Shopping Trip. Another one was reading Let's Surprise Mom, and the last group read The Market Adventure. So during this engaging activity and lesson that the scholars intake in, they were reading different texts that was on their level. In our guided reading groups, our shared reading as a 3rd grade text is more difficult, but the text was about supermarket. So each of these stories still engaged them in supermarket. However, they got the opportunity to discuss with their partners and make text connections that we will further on talk about, but they were able to independently with their partners read this story. And this was so important because I didn't have to go around and tell words. They really focused on the lesson, which was context clues. It wasn't so much of how they were reading, but of context clues, but I wanted to give them a text that they will feel confident and they were capable to truly read to demonstrate their understanding of context clues. Now, I will do more explicit text with context clues, but for this lesson, it was gauged directly with what the reader can read. They had this graphic organizer, and as you can see, the 2 graphic organizers, they do have some similarities. However, this graphic organizer, for looking directly at the context clues, they put the word, the page number, and then here they are telling me exactly what clues did they use. And then down here, they're making up their own definition of the word. So that was something for them to do. I knew that they could do this on their own without support, but they did have the support of their peer. The next graphic organizer was capturing context clues, and this one got a little further into details, and here they had to actually write the words again, telling me the clues, then they did their definition, and here they had to mark. How did they come up with their definition? Did they see an example? Was there some comparing and contrasting in their text, or was the definition within the text? So I really like this graphic organizer. It just gets a little deeper into the context clues, and then they take it a step further and they find the dictionary definition, because usually my higher scholars, they're able to do this, but they move a lot faster, so this is also engaging them in their dictionary skills as well.
The word bargain means to get it for a lower price, because she said, I guess at this market we're supposed to get bargain for a lower price. So I guess that's the meaning of the word. So I would think we should check definition within text.
I concur with you because I seen what you're talking about when it says, I guess at this market you're supposed to bargain for a lower price. Well, I guess if that means what you said.
She does. She even seats with me so that I can sit
Variety. You're going to finish reading. Think about, what does that word variety mean? I'm going to come back and discuss that with you. See what clues that you use for variety. Okay, so maybe rotten. Okay, and I know he worked with Detective Leah. I'm going to read from page 7. Casey got up and headed for the kitchen. She opened the refrigerator door. Besides the jug of spring water, there were 2 cartons of yogurt, 3 eggs, and an old head lettuce that looked wilted and spoiled. We need to go shopping, Casey announced. So after the word wilted, it said and. Did anyone hear that other word? Spoiled. Wilted meaning old. Spoiled. Good job using the words around it. Last one. Kylie.
The word I didn't know was variety.
Variety.
Number the one me and my partner looked at pictures.
Okay, so you all use the picture. Context clues using the pictures. Good. And what definition did you guys come up with?
Variety means different items.
Awesome. Variety does mean different items. And let me see your book. And you all said page 6. Thank you for those detectives still showing me a nice slant as I read this. And let's see if we agree with Kylie. We'll need to go shopping then, Nana said. Let's start at the farmer's market. They sell a variety of fresh fruit. They have strawberries, cherries, and blueberries. We can make blueberry pancakes. And she said the word variety means, say it one more time.
Variety means different items.
Different items. What different items did you hear on this page? Shakira?
Blueberries.
Blueberries. Jonathan?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Jaden?
Cherries.
Cherries. So now we know variety means different items. All right, Scott.
THANKYOU,